my dog, Olivia, she's a golden retriever. And if you don't know, they like to eat. But she never had human food. And she was always pretty good about not giving that look. You know how golden retrievers can look at you, give that desperate look like they haven't eaten in days. Well, that lasted for about 6 years until a snack accidentally fell on the floor. Of course, she ate it right up. Well, after eating, she got this big smile on her face. And then from then on, whenever a bag is opened, she begins to give you that look, like I know what you eat, and I want it. Trying to make you feel guilty. Well, she was not supposed to have the food of the children, but her persistence paid off. And what she did, she received a scrap that fell on the floor. Well, she can give me that sad look all day she wants. But she does not receive anything of food. But then you have the gospel. The Canaanite woman and the Canaanite people begin to enter into the picture. They were the ancestral enemies of the Jewish people because they would worship the pagan gods, and they were ignorant of the true God and of his ways. So much so that our Lord does not answer, as we heard the gospel. All the Jewish people were treated her in that way. That's why we hear the disciples. They're away. They're out. But she and the others like her, in a sense, were not able to come into the kitchen to receive the food of the children. They had to stay in the other room and look up, just like my dog is supposed to. And that's why I want to tell her. I was sent home to the lost sheep of Israel. And we got persistence. She cries out to the Lord, help me. So you can just keep the anguish in her cry. Because there's no one else. Well, he answered, as we heard. It's not right to take the food of the children and throw it to the dogs. Now we got to hear that. Our Lord sent off insults to her, called her a dog. But the reason why they called her that they were considered like little house dogs to the Jewish people. That's how they looked. That's why they say they were not considered like a true family member. And so that's kind of hard for us to understand. In the United States, we treat our dogs like members of the family, or sometimes even better than the people. So what our Lord says here seems strange to us, because we highly prize dogs in our culture. But she was great faith and humility, is not offended, and recognizes that she is indeed a dog. That she's not worthy of God. She's not worthy to be one of the children. But she knows what happens in the houses of Israel after dinner is ended. And so what would happen when the meal was ended? They would take a piece of bread and use it to wipe the plate clean of the food. Then they would take that piece of bread and the food out and throw it on the floor, and the dog would come in and eat it up. And so that's what she's referencing. As the children of Israel eat from the full table, and I just think it's leftover from the dogs. That's what she's saying. Please, for even the dogs eat the scraps that fall from the table of their masters. So she just offers a small piece of food, just a small piece of mercy for her dog. Well, you see, your faith is wrong. It's evil. It's like my dog Olivia's faith as increased. She has become persistent whenever she hears that Dad open up. But faith is the simple but powerful key that breaks open pride and the way to salvation. She did not take God for granted, like many of the Jewish people were at that time. And really, when you think about it, how many Christians take Him for granted today? Faith's purpose, is to deepen our desire and cleanse our hearts to be able to come before the beatific vision for all eternity. Is that what we long for? Do we have a longing like this woman in the gospel? Because we have the full meal available. So many times we just want to stop.